Dear user, welcome to Polysun. This tutorial will teach you how to set up your first simulation in 8 easy steps. We will use multifamily building as a practical example. By the end, you will know how to configure location data, define energy demand, size components, run a simulation, and compare different system variants. Step number 1. Select a template and create a project. Start by selecting a standard template called 19H from the template library. This template is pre-configured for a multifamily building containing two energy sources, a heat pump as well as solar thermal system. Click on the template to create a new project and give it a clear name. Click on OK, and just like this, the system diagram appears on the left side. In Polysun, you can also add the templates to favorites. If you do so, the template always is the first one that appears within the standard template list. Step number 2. Enter the project comments and location data. In the project overview, you can enter comments on the project. These will later appear in the professional report. On the left side, you can also select the location of your project. You can pick any country. Let's select Denmark and, for example, Copenhagen. By doing so, Polysun automatically knows where the project is being located and is connected to the weather data. You can also select from a map. If you select Meteonorm 6, the data is available offline as well. Now that we have defined the location, we can move on to step number 3. Define the building heating load and demand. To define the building heating load, you need to go into the system diagram and double-click on the building component itself. This is where you specify the amount of heat required by the building. You will most likely have energy, demand, as well as heating load figures from prior calculation or from measured consumption data. You can simply enter these values here. In addition to this, Polysun offers 3 building models for considering heating loads within the simulation. One option is to base the model on energy consumption data, which is particularly suited for existing buildings. Alternatively, data import can be used from other simulation software such as Energy Plus or IDICE via a CSV file. Let's move on to the step number 4. Enter the hot water demand, double-click the hot water tab. You see the default input method, daily consumption in liters per day, has already been pre-selected. This is well suited for most of the projects. You can adjust the daily consumption by simply adjusting the value over here. Step number 5, selecting the heat pump and solar thermal collectors. To select the heat pump, double-click the component and enter the catalog. The catalog contains more than 5,000 manufacturer-specific data, including performance curves of the heat pump itself. The performance curve contains the heating power, as you can see over here, as well as the electrical power. You can see that some of the components are anonymous. That is for the case that you have not selected a specific manufacturer just yet. In Polysun, you can also edit the operational points and the performance curves of every single heat pump so that you would have the exact heat pump that you want to consider for your project. Once you have selected a heat pump, you can simply click on OK, and by doing so, you will confirm the selection. Selecting the solar thermal collectors. Just like with the heat pump, double-click the component and enter the catalog. So this catalog contains manufacturer-specific data, whereby more than 7,000 entries for solar thermal panels are available. Here you also have anonymous data available should you not know which manufacturer to proceed with just yet. Step number 6. Select and size the energy storage tank. Double-click the energy storage tank in the diagram to configure it. The storage tank catalog contains more than 2,000 manufacturer-specific as well as generic data for storage tanks. If manufacturer is not known yet, you can pick a generic tank such as this one, 2 times 4,000 liter buffer. The volume and all other parameters can be adjusted within a copy of the catalog entry. This way, you can increase or decrease, for example, the volume as needed. Step number 7. Run the simulation and analyze results. Now that all components are set up, head over to the results section in the menu. This is where you generate professional reports, perform profitability calculations, and compare different system variants. To dive into the details, select the results overview. When you click on this, then Polysun automatically starts a dynamic calculation for every single time step across the entire year. You can keep an eye on the progress on the left bottom corner. Once the calculation is finished, the results overview will appear. Here you will find the most important information, like energy consumption and solar refraction, as well as aux, this is the energy that the heat pump provided. In the results section, views help you dig deeper into this configuration. System results, these provide monthly KPIs for the full system. Component results, these provide information about each of the components, such as heat pump. So if we would go into the component results, into the heat pump, we can obtain information over here about, for example, the operational time of the heat pump, as well as switch on and switch off times, among other various parameters. On top of that, in the results, you can also select the simulation analysis. When you select the simulation analysis, you will be presented with a timeline. You can simply move the dot across the timeline, and by doing so, Polysun visualizes all the temperatures that are occurring within the system. As you can see, at this very point, the solar thermal collectors are running and are loading energy into the upper storage tank. At this very point, the heat pump started and it is providing heating for our underfloor heating. Now that we have configured one of the system diagrams, we can move on to the step number 8, create system variants and optimize the design. To optimize your design, simply right-click on the system diagram that you have selected previously and copy it. I will change the name from original to copy. By confirming this, I will be presented with two system variants on the left side, the original as well as the copy. In the copy, you can then reconfigure all the components and controllers. Let's compare two systems, one with solar thermal panels and one without. In order to turn off the solar thermal panels, you can simply go into the controller, and within the timer, you can click and turn off the timer for all times. Now that we have done this, we can go into the system comparison, run the two simulations against one another, and we can observe the differences in the result. As we can see, the electricity consumption of the system without solar thermal panels has increased due to the fact that the heat pump needs to be running longer. This shows that the heat pump can still meet the energy demand, but with a lower COP and higher electrical energy consumption. As the hot water in summer is produced by the heat pump and not the solar thermal panel. This was our quick start to workflow in Polysun in 8 easy steps from a template to optimized simulation. Should you have any questions regarding our product Polysun, feel free to reach out to us. We are at your disposal.